Today I will tell you a little bit more about my FeedQuest package that you can find on the Unreal Engine 4 marketplace. So first of all, let's start with the materials. As you have probably seen, they are split up into master and child materials. In the master materials you can change the effects. So for example, you can add your own ones, you can modify them and do other things like in an ordinary material. But I would recommend you to just touch those master materials when you have a little bit of experience with materials in Unreal Engine 4, because otherwise you could break some stuff. For example, when we go into the Grass Pro material, we can delete the snow effect, we can modify the wind down there, and we can just add our own stuff to our materials. But as I said, just do it when you have experience with the Unreal Engine 4 material system. Then we also have the material instance constants, so the child materials. In here you can change the parameters of the materials. For example, when we go into the MGrass Pro material, you can here change the color or the variation and so on. So in here you can't break anything, you can just modify them and play around a little bit. As you don't need all material effects in your level, I've split it up into Basic, Pro and Advanced. The Pro material instance constant includes all effects, but it's not so good for the performance. The Basic material just includes the most basic effects like the variation, the subsurface color and so on, but it's better for the performance as the material complexity is not so high. And the Advanced material instance constant just contains a good combination between both of two. So it contains some useful effects, but it's also not so bad for the performance. Now let's go over some effects. So let's open the MGrass Pro and we'll just go through the entire list here. We'll drag and drop this right there. And I will make it a little bit bigger here. Like that. Okay, so let's start with the color changing. Up here at color, you can change the color. For example, I will choose pink. And down here you can choose how strong it should be displayed on our mesh. So for example, we can put it to 1, then everything will be pink. But we can also decrease it to a lower value, like this one here, and then we get a mixture. Then down here we have the color variation. Here we can also choose how strong the color variation should be. For example, we can put it to a high value, but then we get some pretty strange colors. So I would recommend you to leave it under 0.1 to get a pretty good result. Then here we have the fire effect. To enable the fire effect, you have to go to the parameter that is called fire effect on off and just type in 1. And as you can see, we already have the fire effect and it's glowing. Up here, burn down amount, you can control the opacity of the mesh. So for example, we can go a little bit lower, then our meshes will start to decrease a little bit. So you can let them burn down your grass, just with a parameter. But I will just set it back to 1. Just to 1, like that. Then at coal diffuse you can change the coal effect, so this part here. Then the fire diffuse will change this glowing effect here. And the fire mask defines where on the mesh it should display the glowing effect. And down here at fire shiny you can change how strong the shininess should be. For example, we can increase it and it glows pretty strong. Then at moving fire X and moving fire Y, you can change how fast the fire effect should appear and disappear on your mesh. For example, you can see here, it always moves a little bit slowly. For example, we can increase that to high value and then it looks like that. So I would recommend you to keep it very low to get a realistic result. Now to turn the fire effect off, you just have to put a 0 into the fire effect on off parameter. Then let's go down to the interaction effect, swinging. Here you can choose if it should be on or off. So 0 means off, 1 means on. Down here at reaction hardness you can change the hardness of your effect. So I personally would recommend you to leave it on a really high value like 38,000, because then you get a good result. Then at reaction radius you can change how far the effect should affect the grass. So for example at 99 we get this result. It's just a small radius, but we can also increase it to 300. Then you can already see get a pretty high radius here. Then at reaction intensity you can change how strong it should be, and at reaction weight you can change how far the mesh should move. And down here at snow amount you can add a snow amount effect. So here at snow amount, for example, you can type in 1, Then we get this effect, or we can even increase it to add more snow to our mesh. Then it's snow diffuse, you can change the snow color. For example, when you have your own picture snow, just add it in here and then it will be displayed on our mesh. And here at snow mask, you can define where on the mesh it should be displayed. As you see, I use a text fire mask for this, but you can also use your own one so that it gets displayed in your own way. Then let's set this back to 0, and let's go to the subsurface color. So down here at subsurface color, you can change how strong the subsurface effect should be. So for example, let's go here. Here you can see the green subsurface effect, and when we change it to, for example, pink, when you put up the strongness of it, you can see it turns pink when we look into the direction of the light. Down here you can choose how strong the effect should be, and here how strong the color should be that you want. I'll just put it back to the original values. So let's come to the wind. Here you can choose between those 4 values here, and I personally would recommend you to just play around with those values to get a good result, because they do nearly the same, but you can just see a small difference between them. For example, the noise intensity, how fast it should move, the noise scale, how large the noise should be, so if it should be in a high radius or if it should happen everywhere. Then of course the wind radius, how strong the wave should be. For example, we can put this to a low value and we get this effect. And of course this parameter here you can choose how strong the wind should be. For example, we can put this to a high value, then we get a total mass. So just keep it low. And down here you can add your own diffuse color and your normal map. So yeah, that are all effects. And now let's go to the mesh placement. So there are 4 ways how you can place a mesh. Either you add it by hand, just drag and drop into your level, like this here. Or you add it with the foliage tool, up here. Just drag and drop it, choose some values, and then place it. Or you can also choose the procedural foliage spawner or the landscape grass material node. But I will just add some links to those tutorials in the description, because it would take too long to explain that to you, and there are already some pretty good tutorials around, so just take a look at them and then you will know how it works. Last but not least, I will show you how you can add the interaction effect to your own character. So first of all, go to the world properties, so settings, world settings, and down at game mode, choose your own game mode. So in my case, the third person game mode. Then open my character blueprint, then go to blueprints, and open the blueprint character. Now in the blueprint, just copy this entire part here. So the turns reaction effect on off and the sense player position value to material reaction effect. Just copy this. Then open your own character blueprint, so make a third person blueprint. And then paste it. Okay, now go to compile. You shouldn't get any errors and then it should work. So let's click on the play. And you can see it's a little bit faster. We'll have to decrease the movement speed. Movement. Oh yeah. Walk speed. Let's set it to 100. And now let's try it again. Then we should see it. Now you can see it moves. And that's how you add the interaction effect to your own character.